Awesome. Welcome to Sofa City Sounds. I'm your local musical shit show. I hope you guys had a great holiday and great new year and ate a shit ton and drank lots if that's what you do. I smoked and ate a whole bunch of cookies. Welcome to our 1 year anniversary of Sofa City. And you, please introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year to Amanda and Sofa City
Yep.
Sounds. Thank you for having myself back on. It's Tyler Reiner, drummer of Space GT. I'm here on behalf of all the boys, Dan, Johnny, Matt, everybody, our whole camp. Thank you for having us on. Almost pretty close, I would say, 1 year to the day.
Yeah. I believe you guys were on the 5th last year because Walter Stock was on the 7th. I have a weird brain when it comes to remembering dates.
That's good. That's a good problem to
So,
have, eh?
yeah, yeah, no shit. Too bad I can't get anywhere on time or remember fucking appointments in my regular life. I can remember the rock that was this big that I dug out of a hole underneath my parents' fucking racing pigeon coop when I was 3 years old, but I can't remember my doctor's appointment tomorrow morning.
uh,
So that's why I'm your local musical shit show.
that's good. Someone's got to be, right?
Well, I mean, if you guys don't do what you do, I can't do what I do. So, what
That's
is
it.
it
Well,
that you do?
I really appreciate you having me back on, and
100%.
thanks for taking the time and
Yeah,
catching up with what's going on in our camp, and
yeah.
it's
You guys
nice
have
to
been
chat with
busy.
you.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime, anytime. You guys are definitely one of my favorite bands. We always get along. I love hanging out with you guys. Um, Beer Bash was definitely a fantastic introduction for Spades GT and Sofa City Sounds. So
Awesome. I
that's where
remember
we
that.
started, I think.
Yeah, that was a. I believe if I like we're going back a little bit here, but I
Yep.
believe we opened up the show that night or that afternoon, I should say,
I
and a good buddy Matt Patterson, he
Yep.
brought us out to that show. Shout out to Matt. Hope he's doing well. Haven't heard
Yeah.
or talked to him in a while, but I'm sure he's keeping good. But yeah,
Absolutely. We had
he
some fun.
brought us out to Beer Bash, and that was a great little event in that bike shop downtown.
That was so fun. That was so I like so I came into town the night before and I stayed at Josh Smith's house for that show.
Okay.
And I told him that I was not staying up past 11:30. 3:30 in the morning we went to bed.
Yeah.
2:30 in the morning we went to bed. We got up at 8. We were at Austin's by 8:30. We had my car loaded right down. Like I had no shocks after that. We had my car loaded right down with shit. Um, I was there. I was the first one awake and the first one to Sin Cycle. I think that's how you say it. And I was the last one to go to bed 27 hours later. And
Wow.
I'm
Good
one
for
of the
you,
only
right?
sober people that hangs out with all you
How,
guys.
I was gonna say, how did the next day feel?
So I drove Josh back to his house, and then I ended up driving to Mississauga.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I stayed at my aunt's house, and I slept. I got to Josh's at about 7:30 when I dropped him off. I walked in the door to a pot of coffee around 9 o'clock, and I passed out till about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Love it.
So,
Love it.
but I remember doing the 50-50 for that, and I did so well that Ryfield Studios had me do it 2 years in a row after that for the festival.
Nice. Again,
Yeah,
great guys out at Ryfield.
yeah,
Shout out to the boys at Ryfield Studios. They had us on.
absolutely.
I believe it was last year. It could have been the year before, but
Yep,
what a great vibe those guys got going on, in Brantford. Like they
yep,
literally they're such cool dudes. They do so much as well for the local scene, and they
yeah,
got a great thing. They got a great thing going, and they're passionate about it, which is
yep,
what I love the most. They're
yep.
super passionate guys and well-hearted guys and doing a good thing for the scene for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They work really hard. They do. And Steph, man, she's a lot of people don't see a lot of the stuff that she does, man, but she is a good portion of the brains in the operation.
Yeah,
She helps things run smoothly behind the scenes. All three of them play a fantastic role in what they do. Absolutely.
a
Um,
100%.
they're a lot of fun. I did the Ryfield Festival this year as well, And I think for the 50-50, we pulled in around a grand. So
Nice. Yeah, wink,
yeah.
wink. Hey, boys, get spades this year out on it, eh?
Oh
Wait,
yeah,
just
I'm
saying.
an advocate for that for sure. For
It's
sure.
a, I think it's early enough now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I should be getting a text message anytime about, hey, we started picking bands. At least I
Yeah,
hope, because I really like to start getting that interview schedule ready to go, by the way, Steph and
for
Shane.
sure. But yeah, we would love to we would love to come out and support our brothers and be a
Yeah.
part of that this year for sure, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of things that are happening this year, I absolutely want to talk about everything that Spades is doing, but I want to give that the most attention.
Yeah,
So I want to start with this Saturday. You and I and many, many of our metal family are coming together for Walter Stock 3.
hundred
Um,
percent.
I like to call it Volume 3 because it sounds a little bit more metal that way, I think. Anyway, but
I,
really,
I
Todd?
I personally call it the celebration of a legend,
Yeah,
celebration of life, even though he's already, our brother's
yeah,
gone, but he's never forgotten. One of the realest, most genuine, sincere,
yeah,
well-hearted individuals, especially towards me, all my
yeah. Me
bands, all
too.
my projects that I've ever been in. And
Yep,
it's super important. And it's such a great thing that Steve and all the Rockpile family and everybody uh, that's involved in it that keeps bringing this thing every year,
yeah,
raising
yeah,
money for some good music foundations and in support of Walter and everyone coming out in the local scene and remembering a true individual who was just there for everybody. Doesn't matter if you were down here, here, or up here. He was
yeah,
a true solid fan of all music and a huge supporter of the Toronto metal scene. And it's only love and respect that we give back every year to Walter, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. 100%, 100%. Like I couldn't have said it better myself at all. And I think one of the most beautiful things about Walter is we all loved him and he loved all of us just as much when he was alive as we all do now that he's gone. And you don't see that with a lot of people. You see that, they're celebrated a lot more after they pass versus when they're here. And Walter was one of those people that he touched everybody. Take that how you want it. He touched everybody while he was here as well. Everybody was his good friend. You
Uh,
know,
a hundred
Uh,
percent.
like and you were like, I mean, he would walk up to genuinely anybody and like, hey, let's get a selfie. But at the same time, you were a fucking lucky human being if Walter walked up to you and said, hey, let's get a selfie, if he didn't know you.
Yeah.
And he did that with a lot of people. That's how he pulled a lot of the scene together, is he would stand next to people that he didn't know and, hey, I'm Walter, what's your name? you
and
know
and I can't, I've been saying it a lot, and it's all about unity at the end of the day. And the more that bands come together and work as a team and support each other, push
yeah,
each other, and create unity, we'll get a good scene back on track and we'll get
yeah,
something positive in a right direction where we could hopefully gain a really good scene because there's just something out there right now that's lacking. Maybe
yeah,
some guys aren't confident or afraid to say it or whatnot, but
yeah.
it's like there's a lot of great bands out there. There's a lot
There
of
is.
great local talent, local
Yep,
musicians, local guys and females and males that are
yep,
out there putting in the hard work, the effort, the time, and the passion
yep,
into their projects and into their art. And I just personally think everyone needs to come together more,
yep.
support each other more, and we could get a good scene back on track if everyone comes together, right? And that's what
100%.
Walter did. Walter brought
Yep.
everybody together.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of musicians that he brought across my path, Steve McLeod just jumped in to say cheers to you and I, and toast to Walter. So hopefully we'll see Steve from Max Minister. I had the pleasure of working with them last year, and hopefully we'll
Nice.
see them out on Saturday. Yeah, they're fantastic. They're some of the most genuine people I've ever worked with. Absolutely. Steve is one of the very few humans like yourself that wears a soul on his sleeve.
Yeah, I
So, and
appreciate
it's
that.
nice to meet. Absolutely. A lot of your stuff comes through my news feed, right? Because we interact. And you're very genuine about the things that you say, and you're very honest and truthful. And you have that don't give a fuck attitude, but you're gentle about it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like you care about what's important, but you don't care about what people think when you're talking about what's important. And there's not a lot of people out there like that
no,
right now because, confidence is at an all-time low. Our health is at an all-time low. We're having some issues out there in society, but there are people out there, even myself, I'm having some issues when it comes to anxiety and ADHD and stuff like that.
yeah,
Um, but I myself, see a lot of the things that you post, and it helps. It does. It helps a lot because you're pushing that confidence out there. You're pushing that good energy out there, and you, much like Steve, we need that. We need that out there.
yeah. No, I
So,
appreciate, like I believe in speaking your mind and not like I don't go back on what I say, like what I
mhm,
put is something out there. I firmly believe that, and I just speak the truth of what I see and how sometimes things go, right?
yeah,
And I appreciate you bringing that point up and vocalizing that, because sometimes
absolutely.
people want to say this or say this or say this, but it's not.
Yep,
I wish I could say these things and not behind the keyboard, because
yep,
the things I do say I would say to you if we were in person.
yep.
But more and more people need to not be afraid and come out and speak up,
That's right.
and like, and if there is issues, if there is things bugging you, if there is, and again, like, there's so much jealousy, there's so
Hmm.
much insecurity, there's so much, like, things that just you get caught up in that is
Yeah.
not going to push you ahead, or is not going to benefit your band, or not going to push anything and make things happen for you. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
people.
absolutely. Absolutely. You got to make those moves. There's people out there that help support those moves and can help with confidence and stuff like that. But if you don't make those moves yourself, if you don't assert yourself, if you're not honest about those things, you're not going to get to the heights and the levels you want to be. You're not you and we all like there's a lot of us that all have the same goal, which is like if I lift you up, you can pull me up, right? But like you say, there are those jealousy streaks, and there are those people that aren't confident and stuff like that are really having an issue and put the wrench in the gears and stuff like that. And it's definitely not something that's talked about enough when it comes to those things because like you say, we have one hell of a scene. And like, where are you? You're up towards Barrie, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just outside of Barrie. I'm in a small town called Thornton.
Oh, okay. See, and I'm in Niagara Falls. So from you to me, we are literally connected every town in between, right? As far as our music scene goes, like that's our radius, and it much like kids, it takes a village, to it takes a village to raise our scene,
Yeah,
you know.
and again, I always say this, like, especially with bands, man. Like, so many bands will work with, like, say, a promoter or something, and then they expect the promoter to do the job.
Yeah.
But hey, we're in 2024, 25. Like,
25.
it, 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 it starts, it starts with you.
Yeah.
If you put the hard work in, if you put the determination, if you put the drive, if you put the self will and the work ethic into your own project to make it work, then you will see results. But
Yep.
to book a show or to do something and then expect everybody to come out or do that and not go out and push tickets, like, I always say now, like, when I book a show with, like, Steve or somebody, like,
Yep.
yeah, I want 30 tickets.
Yeah.
I, back in the day when we were growing up, like Supernova days and all this, right? And
Yep.
I remember a funny story. Steve Hogue, he used to book at Riley's third floor. I'm going way back, like when I was like 14,
Oh
15.
wow.
And He would be like, okay, T, yeah, man, you got to sell tickets. And we were always like, man, are you crazy? We're not selling nothing, right? Like, and then
Yep.
now it only makes sense if you sell, say, 30 tickets and you got to keep a little bit of a percentage point of the point. That's how you're going to make some money at your gig. If not, if you don't sell tickets and you expect a promoter to book you out, and then you expect to get paid for a show, but you didn't bring anybody out, how do you expect to get paid?
No, 100%. I agree with that 100%. And like when you do the work, you learn how to do the work. When you hustle, you get the reward from it, you know, much like you guys. I again, like bringing it back to how hard you guys work and how genuine you are in the scene. You guys are fucking shit up every step you take, and it's fantastic, but it's because you fucking work hard for it. You guys have developed a work ethic that works for you, that has given you guys a formula where you guys are able to work hard, perform, and gain something from it, and it makes you want to do it more.
Yeah,
Dog.
I love the pup.
So she's a year and a half and she thinks that she owns the place.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Enough, you shit.
but
So, but
but again, everyone's different. You
yeah.
gotta. I believe in like treating everything like a business, right? If you
Hmm.
opened up a business, do you want your business to succeed or do you want your business to fail? I want my band to eventually succeed, but here's the thing: it's a journey. Rock and
Yeah.
roll's a journey. It's not.
100%.
It's not about how fast can you do it. It's about how smart can you build
Yeah.
it and execute it.
Yeah.
Um, so there's certain paths, certain motions, certain way, certain things. Some are right, some are wrong, some are,
Yeah.
and you learn from mistakes, and you eventually grow, and you try to push it forward. But
Yeah.
you gotta have a plan. You gotta stay focused. And again, I like we work with our really good friends bands of our The Fast Life in Stroud, great punk band up and out of Simcoe. Great
Yep.
brothers of ours, We work together. We're a crew.
Yep.
We try to build each other up. We try to push each other forward.
Yep.
My buddies in Hellraiser out in Cornwall.
Yep.
We're a crew. So the more bands partner up with other bands, Bruno and the Boys and Devils by Devil,
Oh, I
my
fucking love those
brothers, right?
boys.
So like the more you put each other in a camp and support each other and build and thrive
That's
off each
right.
other, the
That's
more
right.
the more you're gonna again unity and
Hmm.
create a scene and try to create hopefully something that people would take interest to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Matthew Papineau popped in and said, "What's up?" We'll see his ass on Saturday. And
We'll see you, Papanoy. I was around the corner from your crib there, buddy, on New Year's.
nice.
Didn't see you. One love, eh?
Nice. So my buddy Sean McCarthy popped in and said that everything we're saying is 100% accurate
Yeah.
information, which I absolutely agree with. You work hard, you play hard, and when you work hard, you get to reap the benefits from it. So,
Yeah, and I appreciate that, because I
yeah.
get it, I'm not afraid to voice it too, because I don't mean any disrespect or any harm online. Let me just say that to anybody.
No, no, and
Anybody?
I don't think that I think a lot of people that interact with you don't take it that way, you know what I mean? Because you're putting a lot of that stuff out there with your heart, and when people vibrate on the same level as you, they notice that stuff, and the people that don't vibrate on the same level as you, well, they either pick a fight or they scroll on, you
Yeah,
know. And normally when you can tell when people are vibrating at the level that we are, right? You know, like you and I get along great. We're on the same vibrational level.
yeah,
Whereas there's other people in the industry that we don't necessarily get along with, who, you know, whoever, whatever. But and we keep our distance, A, because we don't want to, but B, they're on a different vibration. They're not going to vibrate close to us, close enough to us anyway, unless we lower our vibration and bring that to ourselves,
100%.
right? So yeah, like I mean, and that's why we have such wonderful people in the music industry, and they outweigh the people that we don't necessarily want to deal with or mention or talk to or whatever. Not to say that there's many of them, but they're out there, you know. And we're lucky that we have a tight community. I guess we're not lucky. We work for it. We work
It's
hard for this community, you know?
you know, and there's a lot of people that do in the scene, right? There's a, like I
Yeah.
said, there's a lot of real brothers of mine out in that scene, you know, that
Yeah.
have been, like, personally, I know, that have been grinding the scene
Yeah.
from day one with myself in the scene,
Yeah.
right? Like, where there's some of us guys who are not, we haven't been around 5 years, we haven't been around 10 years, we haven't been around 15 years, we've been
Yeah.
around for well over 20 years.
Well,
So
you've been around, I mean, I guess technically speaking, you've been in the scene since you've been in diapers.
that I had, but
Yeah, I
actively
mean,
playing since I was about
yes.
16, actively playing, and I'm almost 40 now. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
you know,
That's
it's been
fair.
a lot. I've seen the scene go up and down. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of venues be awesome and then shut down completely. I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of people come and go. I've seen a lot of fly by nighters, and then I've seen a lot of guys that are legends in the street
Yeah.
and
Oh,
will
100%.
forever do this until they die. So
Yep.
that's where I tip my hat. I tip my hat to the
Yep.
guys like Bruno. I tip my hat to guys like Mikey from Devil's Rich. I tip my hat, you know,
Yep.
I tip my hat to a guy like Matt Papino who just tuned in and comes to
He's
every
still here.
show and
He
is
just
gonna
said he's
drive
been
down
around.
and is gonna drive down
Yeah.
from Cornwall to come support our brother.
Yeah.
That's a true bro, true
Yeah.
legend, and a true gentleman in the scene, whether you want to
Yeah.
say it or not. You
Yeah,
know?
no, 100%, 100%. And it's nice to see the like. I guess coming from a recovery standpoint, we call them old timers. I guess I'd be an old timer because I'm over 15 years. And that's kind of how I see, you know, people like you in the scene. Myself, I've been around for 20 years, but I was silent for quite a while due to, you know, my personal life and stuff like that. It's only been the last 10 years that I've really been out and about and back in the pits and stuff like that. And the last 5 years, it was actually 5 years on December 2nd that I have been podcasting. So,
But good for
10
you.
years I've owned Sofa City in next month, but 5 years I've been podcasting. So, yeah, and it definitely is a hustle, but it's such a wonderful thing um, to see all these people that I was watching 20 years ago when I was in the scene. Now I'm back in it just as hardcore as I was. And all of the same people, some of the same people are still here. And it's such a wonderful thing. It's like coming home after
Uh,
living in a different area for, you know, a few years or whatever. It's like
yeah.
coming home. It's
But hey,
wonderful.
I just want to say, since we're chatting, we've been really quiet last little while. We finished up our 2024 year. We had a privilege to do some shows with the Exploited.
I saw
Um,
that.
that
So bummed
was,
I missed that.
yeah, that was next level. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Um, and we've been a little quiet right now because we're gearing up for the next Space GT album. And
Yay!
yeah, it's going down. We head into the studio on February 17th, and
Sweet.
everyone can expect a new Space GT album dropping this year.
Sick. So that means I'm gonna have to pull you out down to Niagara.
Yeah, you know what? We still haven't even been down there, which is crazy. I don't know.
Well,
Like, so we got to make that happen. We were supposed to come down there with Daglo, and then that got all fucked up. And
that
then
was that I was the one who ended up getting that show the second time around, and I had no control over that. I
and then
just
and
and
then
I'm
and
gonna
then be,
say this live. I fought for you guys to be on that bill.
and I'm gonna say this live too, because I don't mean no disrespect to
No,
anybody,
not
but
at all.
all the bands that were on those previous bills when those shows were dated across Southern Ontario, straight
Yep,
up should have been offered the spots
100%.
when these guys just fucking came through here and
Yep.
ripped on December, and none of those bands got those spots. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
No, I
Hate
agree
me,
with you.
love me, like me, don't like me. That's just not what punk rock's about.
It's
But
courtesy. It's
it's just
courtesy.
it's called courtesy, respect, and
Yep.
I don't need to play the show. It's not about that. It's
No,
not about
it
that.
no,
It's
no.
about there were
It's
the
deeper than
Iron
that.
Mood. There was a bunch of bands that were on the bill that got the
Yep.
present, got offered the gig. We're gonna do the
Yep.
gig, and then everything went down because at the end of the day, Murray's a brother of ours. His health is number one.
That's
And
right.
God bless to see him out here right now, killing and rocking in
I
good
know.
shows. Like, we got nothing but love and respect from that, from the Space GT camp.
Yep.
And you're hearing that coming out of my mouth. And I say
100%.
that on behalf of Johnny. I say that on behalf of Dan. I say that on behalf of Matt. But I'm just saying some of the bands that were originally booked on those bills should have been at least offered the shows again when they previously got
Yep.
booked on this time of the run.
Yep.
That's all
No,
I'm saying.
I don't disagree with that. And when I did the Niagara Falls show, I was actually pulled onto that show after everything was discussed, and I did say that, if I had to pick, what out of town band was, it was you guys, 100%. I do agree that, Convict, they're from Niagara Falls, so they fit, but it wasn't my decision at the end of the day. So
Yeah. Yeah, no,
it
and
was a
it's all
good
good.
show.
It's all
Everybody gets
love.
to hang out, and it at the end of the day, things happen the way they happen, but because we have genuine musicians like you guys, and like the Dayglow Abortions, huge shout out to them. Um, the pieces lay where they may, and we move on how we have to from those things.
Believe
Um,
me, there's no hard feeling over here in our
no,
camp.
no,
There's no hard
100%.
feeling. Like I said, we got nothing but love and respect for the Daigle family. We
Yeah,
play with them many times. I'm truthfully super stoked and ecstatic that our brothers in Random Killing, Chris Hill, Dutch,
love them.
all the boys, Jim,
Yeah,
John, all the guys, they got
blackout.
to
Yeah,
play with them out in Oshawa there recently, and all that. Like,
yeah,
all good. That's love, man. That's respect. Those guys are our
yeah.
brothers, so
It,
um
it's just nice to be able to have an adult conversation like this, and it be an adult conversation. Like I think we're
100%. There's no hurt. There's no
no,
need for
no, it
that.
has nothing to do
It's
with that. It's just like, I mean, a spade is a spade, and no pun intended.
yeah,
No pun intended. The spade is a spade, but like, I mean, it's nice to be able to have an adult conversation and call it how it is, and it not be an offensive thing, or somebody get mad at something or whatever, because it is what it is. We can't change it. It's the past. It doesn't exist anymore. But these are the facts of the matter, and okay, we accept it, we learn from it, we move on, and things are different next time.
a
It's
hundred
just
percent.
it's and that's how we learn, that's how we grow. If we don't fuck up, if we don't make mistakes, if we don't plan at the same time while we do those things, we don't learn and grow from those things. And sometimes relationships grow out of shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So
And again, it's all love. I'm saying that
yeah,
in all love, right? I'm just
absolutely.
saying for the bands that were originally booked on those bills,
Yeah,
they should have been. And even if we weren't on that bill,
yep.
because
It's
like I said,
principle.
we've played with Dayglow multiple times, and I believe in letting everybody have a turn, letting
Yeah,
other bands have opportunities as well. I'm just saying it would have been only right, the right thing to do in etiquette and everything,
yep,
to have those bands that were previously booked on those bills to still be a part of those bills. That's all
yep.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. And like, that it's good to have that conversation and put it on the table, because like, maybe there's young promoters watching, or there's young bands watching, that or are going to watch, that may need to learn something like that, and may not realize that, like, hey, that's the right thing to do, or this is how it should be, or and that's why veterans should be having conversations like this, and without animosity. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Without
Yeah.
animosity, being
Uh,
able to have it as a conversation, right? Because then we're not only are we growing, but we're also teaching other people about it, and that's important, because we can't keep this industry running smoothly and grow it like we're working on, and giving it its legs back. And we can't do that if we can't have these conversations without the animosity. We've got to be able to sit down and talk about these things. And I know when it comes to this conversation in particular, it doesn't really have anything to do with you and I, but it's definitely important to put things like this on the table, right? Because it gives other people a perspective and conversation about it. And, it's good to be truthful about the way things happen.
that's it. And again, nothing in life is guaranteed.
No,
Always remember that.
no.
Nothing in life is guaranteed.
Oh, fuck, I can agree with that. That's for sure.
Live for the moment, live for today. Don't live for tomorrow.
We
Nothing's
live every
guaranteed in
day.
life, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We live every day, and we only die once. Unless you're me, then you die twice. So, but okay, yeah, so let's continue talking about what's going on with you guys, because we've covered, catching up and the stuff that we're doing and whatnot, but like, we're here for spades. So you guys
Yeah,
got a new album, and you start the week before my birthday. We start recording.
so we're excited to have Kyle Marchant again take on the second Space GT album.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna drop album names, not dropping
it's
any of
okay.
that. That's all gonna come out and that's all
Yep,
gonna surprise you guys. We recently Rock 95 recently put us on the
saw
Garage
that.
to Glory segment, which is really cool for our backyard in Simcoe, you know. And again, like whether anyone in Simcoe's tuned in or knows about the show or watching, but thank you to Jillian, thank you to, you know, Richard Verity, thank you to Trish, thank you to everybody in Simcoe County that has supported our band and our group and all us guys over the last 4 years in our hometown and, you know, building like punk rock up here too. There's so many good bands in Simcoe. Barry's
Yeah,
got such a great scene. Barry's a hot little town, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and
It is.
there's excellent musicians up here all across the board.
You
Tons. It's
definitely have to
endless.
give me a list of them once we're finished talking about your album and what you guys are up to.
You know, so we're really grateful for Rock 95 for picking it up through City Radio, and putting that on the Garage
Such
to
a good
Glory
album.
segment last year. Super stoked. Colin from Sum 41 came across it, hit us up, brought us on his radio show out in Oshawa on 94.9 The
Fucking
Rock.
A.
You know, he dug the record, actually
That's
started getting to
killer.
connect with Cone, and you know, such a super rad, down to
I love
earth
it.
guy that, you know,
Yeah,
totally has a heart and passion for finding and discovering undercover, like underground talent
yep,
and new bands that don't get the chance to be like, you know, brought to a little bit of limelight to be
yep.
played on FM radio. So for us guys, you know, last year was such a crucial year for us to be able to get featured on two FM radio stations out of Ontario, you know, as a punk rock band, man. Like, you know,
That's
our
killer.
content's not exactly the content that would be played on FM radio. So it
Yeah, but you
goes to
fucking work
show,
for it, man. You
yeah,
work
and
for it. That's your
but
dedication. That's hard work paying off.
100%. But it also is really cool to see that, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and the
Yep,
future's looking bright for punk rock and a little bit of heavier
yep,
metal or alternative to potentially have the chance to get back on FM radio.
yeah,
You know, it's just gonna take some time. It's gonna take work ethic. It's gonna take drive, and it's gonna take some of these DJs that are putting together these cool segments that they have on
yep,
their program that allows underground bands to reach out and shop their music to, and you might get lucky and
yep,
get picked to be discovered and get your music on the segment. So it's like,
yep.
again, I can't stress it enough. No one's gonna do shit for you.
That's
No
right.
one. No
That's
one.
right.
Remember that. Nobody.
That's right.
Take the effort, take the drive. Stop watching Netflix. Stop sitting there playing
Yep,
video games, man.
yeah,
Stop
yeah,
sitting there wasting your shit away. Get the work ethic down. Put the passion, the drive into your art, into your music, into your and drive it home, man. No one's
mm-hmm.
gonna do it for you. Don't make
That's right.
excuses. You
No,
know,
100%, 100%. I can't agree with you more. I can't agree with you more. Speaking of hard work, Ryfield says, "What's up?" Yeah, no, and it's true, man. You like I just said, and like you say, you you put the work in, you have the drive, and you get the results.
and
And I just want to throw this out there before I forget, because my ADHD is fantastic for that. You had mentioned underground radio and DJs and stuff like that, and I just want to give a shout out to Joey Bricks on 97.7, who has Metal After Midnight, and he does exactly what you just described.
I
He's
got
the
to get
lead singer of
connected with them.
Duskwalker. He's the lead singer of Duskwalker, and he's a good friend of mine. So we'll talk.
Nice,
We'll
nice.
talk. So yeah, he does Metal After Midnight on 97.7. He's also Joey Bricks during the day on the radio, and like he has just a regular radio segment during the day. Uh,
Yeah,
One of the most stellar guys you'll ever meet, and you guys have the same work ethic, so I'm sure you guys will get along swimmingly.
But
Definitely.
again, like all these people in the scene, like
Yep.
and I speak for Everett, Ryfield, yourself, Steve,
Yep.
all the people in the scene that are year after year continuing. They're not. No one's profiting from this. Everybody's putting their true heart, passion, work ethic, drive, and their own time
Yep.
into creating these outlets for all these bands to be able to reach out to and hopefully be able to get on to get some
Yep.
exposure, to be able
Yep.
to get a little bit of airplay, to be able
Yeah.
to go into a studio like Ryfield, set up, have pro gear, get a podcast and televise with some
Yep.
great guys and get that for your resume. Like if it
Yeah.
wasn't for people like that in the scene, you know what I mean, the scene would be totally fucked. But
Well,
there's
we're literally each other's stepping stone. You guys are our steps and we are your steps. And if we don't raise each other up, we can't step above to keep doing what we're doing. Right?
100%. So
So,
that's why I'm saying, and you said it earlier, it takes everybody to build a village. You know what I mean? So it's so important, that everyone supports each other.
yeah.
And another big thing, like I've started, like here's the thing. I'm gonna put this out there. Anyone tuned in, anyone listening for bands, man, fuck liking a band shit. Drop a line on a band shit.
Yep.
Say something about. Drop a comment instead of a
Yep.
like. Drop a comment, man. Like
Yep.
for
Interact.
interact for everybody. Forget
Yep.
liking. Liking doesn't mean nothing. Liking, who cares about a
Yep.
like? Start commenting on people's stuff, man. Start
Yep.
supporting your boys, man. Start
Yep.
supporting your friends. Even if you can't make it out to a show, share their music, man, on
Yep.
Spotify. Share their
Yep.
profile, man. Like, the bands that have already made it, they've already made it. They got lucky. They got nothing to prove. It's about
Yep.
the underground bands that are doing it that deserve the recognition. And it's going to start within in the scene with where they're from and the community that they try to get involved and build on.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. Drop a comment on everybody's stuff, man. Give everybody love, man.
Yep.
Enough of this ego, selfish, me. It's a competition. It's not a competition. You're only in a competition with yourself.
Yeah.
So start
100%.
start start supporting everybody, man. Your friends, everybody. Support, man. It's
Well, abundance is
2025.
important. Yeah, no, 100, you're right. You're right. Abundance is important. And the more we support each other, the more abundance we get with our music and, with the things that we do and growing the scene and stuff like that. Somebody just mentioned Matt Groupie, who's another good friend of mine and who works very hard in the scene. Robert Stone, not sure 100% who he. I'm sure we've met or talked. But yeah, he just mentioned Matt Groupie, who's another one who works really hard in the scene. But when it comes to you and the way that Spades works and the way the community works and stuff like that, it's nothing but love. And the more love you give out, the more love you receive. And like you say, when you drop a comment, that comment pushes up another algorithm, right? And then that helps somebody else see it and helps somebody else see it. And that's how we continue to grow the scene, and it's important to be able to give back as much as we take and to give as much as other people give and receive as well. Believe that we're worthy for these things as much as we give out the energy that we want other people to be worthy for it. That's how the universe gives us what we want. I don't know. I believe in magic, so I believe that that's the way the universe gives us what we want. You know,
It's all about the universe. What you give is what you get. What you
that's
put
right.
in is what you get back. And if I got it, three letters on my neck: PMA, positive mental attitude. Live
I
by
love it.
it. My whole life, live by it. Be
Yep.
positive the best you can. I can be negative at times too. Some of my posts are negative, but
Yep.
like at the end of the day, you got to be positive. You got to be constructive, and you got to always know, man, someone's having a shittier day than you.
Yep. Balance. Yeah. No, and you're right. You're
So
right. There's always somebody who's having a shittier day. And um I actually I have a line on my leg from Blind Melon. Life ain't so shitty, right? It's I mean there's a lot of shit going on right now. There's a lot of shitty things going on in our lives, but presently right now in this moment everything's okay. Maybe for somebody else it isn't, and maybe somebody else is having a better time than us, but that's how the universe balances. And when we believe that we're worthy of the things that we want, we get those things. And when you pair that with hard work, you get an abundance of those things,
Mhm.
so it's all
But
about work.
it's all about work ethic. But we're super
Yeah,
excited for this year. We're starting now. Like promoters, guys that are interested in having Space GT. Across Ontario, Quebec, everywhere, man. We're starting to book. We'd be interested. We want to come out to new markets. We would love to work with new booking agents, new people. On top with the previous people that we do work with. Please reach out, man. We would love to come to your town, and especially local bands, local metal bands, punk bands. That's another thing. I hate that bills. Everybody thinks, oh, it's got to be a punk show. It's got to be a metal show. It's got to be this show. No, fuck that, man. There's nothing wrong with having a punk band on a metal band and a rock band. Music's music, art is art. Unity, bring everyone together. You
I
don't
agree.
need just a metal show, just a
Yep.
punk show. That's how you eliminate a scene. You want to create a scene, bring people together.
Yep. 100%. That's so funny that you say that, actually, because I have a birthday party coming up, and I'm pretty sure a punk band is opening a metal night, and I can't
Yeah,
wait for it.
I just don't get it all the time. It's like, oh, they have punk shows and metal shows. No, fucking just how about have a show?
Yeah.
Just have a
No, I
show.
agree. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I threw a show this summer um in Welland, and it was Damn It Goldie and Deafened and Death Club and Crimson Asphalt, and uh the Tall Boys came out, and
Nice.
it was just a fucking wild party. And it was just a wild party, and it was so much fun. And we started off with the Tall Boys, and we ended off with Death Club, and we just got progressively louder and louder and louder throughout the night. And it was Dana, the lead singer of Death Club. Shout out to them. I fucking
Yeah.
love those guys. It was her birthday.
Oh,
So,
wicked.
like, her actual birthday. So it was a lot of fun. I had them in Death Club, or them and Deafened come down. And
Sure.
I've had Deafened come out a few times, and I love working with Miko. He's so much fun.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. But yeah, a lot of the traveling bands, like the bands from out of town that we bring in, I find I always have the most fun with. I love my locals. Don't get me wrong. I love my Niagara Falls bands. Ready to Die, Us Alike, Eaten by Sharks. All bands that I love and work with. But
Yeah.
my favorite is getting to work with bands from out of town.
Uh, uh,
You guys, Evil Villain, Catastrophic Hemorrhage. I just had Evil Villain and Catastrophic Hemorrhage out in September, and that was such a
nice.
fun show. Yeah, I had
Yeah, we
them
need to
playing
get out
Ready to
to
Die.
Niagara. Hey, man, you got to make that
I,
happen. We
I'm
need
get, I'll, yeah, 100%.
because
You let me know when works for you guys,
you,
and we'll definitely pull it off, hundred
you know,
percent
we
for
got to
sure,
come out to Niagara because it's just like,
definitely.
you know, it
I would
just got to
love to
make it
have you
happen.
guys out here for
Yeah.
sure. I
But,
uh I have the dive pub one Thursday night a month, but hopefully I'm pretty sure that I've convinced them to give me a Saturday every couple of months. So
nice.
if I get a Saturday, you guys will most likely be one of the first bands that I call.
Yeah, I'd
So
appreciate that.
a
Like I
hundred
said,
percent.
it's long overdue to come out that way,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we
I mean,
definitely.
100% have you guys out on a Thursday if you want to, for sure. I want to make it worth your while. It's a long trip for you guys. It's a long haul. It's a lot
Yeah,
of stuff to carry along. You guys got families and jobs and lives and stuff like that. So it's something that I would like to make worth your while if you guys are going to come out. So we'll have you out for a Saturday show for sure.
100. And we're looking forward to seeing you on Saturday at Walter Stock.
I got my shirt on.
We're looking forward to it. I believe we hit stage at 8:45.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be good times. It's gonna be a lot of fun. There's a lot of great, again, so much good bands on the bill, so many great
Yeah.
dudes and people playing and musicians, and just like overall it should be a really good hang, and a really good local party for the Toronto scene, and
I'm
everyone getting together to support and remember Walter, right? That's number one.
100%. 100%. I'm gonna pull up Walter's. I'm gonna pull up the poster for Walter Stock, and we're gonna rattle off the 25 bands that are playing. If I find the right poster and can see it. Um, yeah, because you like you said, you guys play at 8:45, and you guys are surrounded by amazing bands that are playing before and after you guys, and it like you actually you and I both get the pleasure of being there all day long. We were privileged enough to be asked to volunteer, so
Yeah.
we get to be there from beginning to end. I won't be there till about 12:30. I'm hoping to leave Niagara around 11, but I'm definitely in it for the long haul.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. There's so many friends bands on it, so many of my brothers playing, and I look forward to the whole thing, and especially too my buddy Joe haven't and Alex haven't seen War Machine in years, so
I was at their show at the Rock Pile a few months ago, and it was a fucking blast. It's summer
so
now.
I look forward to hanging out with those guys.
Yeah, I love Joe.
Josh,
Definitely.
just so many good. Jeff Wilson, Josh, like just
Yeah,
the Medet.
like fuck, everybody's gonna be out. Jay, Miles, let's give a shout out to Miles.
Yep. Hey,
Um,
all I got to say about Miles is number one. Number one, that true bro, true
yeah,
friend.
yep,
Not he's been nothing but true and a true support of Space GT from day one.
yeah,
And I got all I got is love and respect for Miles, man. Like right across the
absolutely.
board and forever will.
Yeah. Oh, my Miles, he like we've been friends for just under 2 years. And I can easily say he is absolutely one of my best friends. He
Yeah.
is 100% one of my best friends. Very genuine human being. He's again another, one who wears his soul on his sleeve. Takes no shit, makes sure that he's very honest and open with everybody, and he's got a big heart, and he's there for everybody. And
And I
my
just
hat's
want to
off to
say,
him.
yeah, and I just want to say, excellent photographer. So like aside from the music, the supporting, Miles going to every show. Like
Yeah,
there's no big, small, medium,
yeah,
basement.
yeah,
Miles is a true fan and a true supporter of
yeah,
music. Period.
yeah,
And his work behind a camera lens, I'm sure everyone's been privileged to be shot by Miles. So I'm probably speaking on behalf of everybody. As long as you got good eyes and you could tell what a good photo is,
yeah.
Miles takes excellent shots and
He's
he's
amazing. Yeah,
passionate about it.
yeah,
And he's always been there for everybody in the scene, man.
yeah.
So give
Hundred
Miles a
percent.
shout out, for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's a fantastic human. He's a fantastic photographer. You know, great friend. He's a package deal. And it's such a pleasure to have him as one of my best friends for sure, and to have him as part of the scene. It's such a wonderful thing to be able to have somebody like him as part of our family. You know,
100%,
um,
100%. And I tip my hat to Miles all the time. I chat with
yeah,
Miles all the time. Even if it's not long, I'm always saying, "Hey, brother, man, hope you're well.
yep,
Stay
yep,
positive, man. I got you."
absolutely.
And he's just a great guy.
Oh, 100%, 100%, and he gives the best hugs. So, that's just a bonus. He's a great dude and gives good hugs. And
Yeah.
you know. Um okay, I'm gonna rattle off these 25 bands. It's a lot. Let's hope I can get it all out. And I have no glasses on, and I hate to admit it, but at almost 42, I think I can't see anymore. Um, like my phone is back here. Um, we got Visions of Morpheus, King Moonracer, Jin Arcana, House of Haunt, Eyes Like Opals, Devil's Rejects, Thrash Drive, Stand Against Fear, Rustic, Phantom Lung, East of Nowhere, Madam, The Dominion, Piss Rug, love those boys, Love It to Death, Anger by Design, Dominant Species, Burnt Knives, Dawn Valley, my twins, Profligator, Spades GT, Liquor Messiah, War Machine, and Devil Witch.
It's crazy that like all the homies, all the homies. Shout out to Tom, Dominant Species. Shout out to Andrew Suarez, Mike
Everybody.
Cabroni,
I know.
Jeff Wilson, Josh. Like I could just keep
Everybody.
I could just keep
Yep.
going.
Yep. Yeah, and honestly, I mean, if you want to, you can, because I did request a shout out to musicians and bands earlier. So like there's a lot, man. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of gears and whistles and bells and crazies, and I mean the crazies make it all happen, right?
Yeah,
So you got to be a little nuts to work in this industry. so
100%.
but yeah, no, like you guys are on fire right now. What do you guys got for merch? And where can we find it? I know I got a t-shirt, but I could use a new one.
Yeah, so we got new stuff coming out, Cycle. Right now, like I said to you, we're we got to bring out our follow up, right? Sewer
Yeah, that's
City,
fair. That's fair.
Sewer City it's coming up to 2 years, and
Yeah,
we had a
that's a great
very
album.
good cycle on that album. We did a lot of great shows. We were able to play with a lot of great bands, do a lot of touring on that album. So it's only fair for the real ones that actually do support Space GT. And for us guys, we're at the point now. We want new tunes out. We want new
Yeah,
music. We want to give everybody a new solid album to rock to, and come out with a fresh new facelift and a fresh new
yeah,
set, a brand new
do it.
live show, and and bring you guys out some a way faster, more intensified Space GT coming for you,
Faster? How like
2025.
how faster? Like you already are probably one of the fastest drummers I've seen play. So, and like I know there's fast, but like I playing with speeds, man, or spades, you fucking you like you don't stop the entire time you're go like
Thank
the
you.
entire time you guys are on stage. You don't stop. Like all of you are like sickly talented. Seriously. I know you better than I know everybody else. So that's why the extras, because I know you better than I know everybody else. But
Yeah.
every one of you is fucking insanely talented. Who are your band members? I know you did mention them earlier in the beginning of the show, but who do you work with?
So I work with Matt. You guys might all know Matt Voss from House of Haunt. Matt joined Space GT probably about a year ago now.
Cool.
He's playing guitar with us. We got Dan Horton, who's
Yep.
lead guitar slash vocals, and then we got JD Pierce, Johnny Pints, the legend, on vocals, myself on drums. And then at the current moment, we've been going through a bass player change. So we have a couple of our really close friends filling in for bass until we find the next real fit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. I like you. I'm really happy to see you guys progressing, and you're progressing at a hard working speed. You're not moving slower than you guys are capable of, and you're not moving faster than you feel you need to. Like you're really keeping that nice, perfect movement with the way that your band is progressing and
we're
growing, and I think
we're
that's really
moving
cool.
cautiously. We're moving cautiously. And here's
Yeah.
the thing too, I'm nobody to tell anybody what to do, or I just sit quietly and I observe. But
Hmm.
the thing a lot of bands that I see, in my opinion, that don't pay attention to, they overplay.
Yep.
You I try to be very firm on this. You can't play a place more than twice a year.
Hmm.
And when you need to space it out. If I'm gonna play Toronto, I'm gonna play Toronto twice a year. I'm gonna play it at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna play it in the fall,
Yep.
or I'm gonna play it in the summer, and I play it in the winter. Or
Yep.
same with Barry. We'll play Barry in sometime soon. Then we won't
Yep.
play her again till November.
Yep.
Unless it's a really good profile show that you've been asked to come on and play. Different
Yep.
story. But bands, you need to spread it out, man. When bands play all the time, well, how do you expect to have a draw?
Yeah.
How do you expect to have people come out?
Hmm.
If I say to you, come on and see me, well, I saw you last week,
Yep.
Tyler. Oh, but you're playing again 3 weeks from now? Well, I just saw you play,
Yep.
especially in the summertime. People at our age group, all got kids, families. Summer's
Yeah.
busy. They're camping.
Yep.
Like I always say, especially in Barrie during the summer, the best time to play Barrie is on a weeknight, not on a weekend, because
Yeah.
you're not taking away people from their family and their
Right.
activities. When you
Right.
play on a Tuesday or a Thursday and you do an early show, it starts at 7, ends at 11 or 10, people still go to work the next day. They feel good. You're not taking them away from their weekend. You're not taking them away from their family. Like, so you get better results, you know? Um,
Yeah.
and I'm just speaking based off of our experiences and playing actively throughout Ontario and the scene and seeing exactly how it goes, right?
Yep.
If you play,
100%.
I when shows go on at certain venues that work, you play the bullfine, yeah, you could go on late. But if you're playing a regular venue and you expect everyone to be there at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning to watch your band, that no one's gonna stick around at 12:30, 1 o'clock and watch your band.
Well, no, maybe when we were in our early 20s before kids and, you know, jobs at 5 in the morning and stuff like that, I sure, but it's difficult now, I find being in the age group I am, not to date myself or anything, I much prefer when a show ends at 10:30, 11 o'clock,
Yeah, but exactly. But
you
it's not
know?
even that. It's people get exhausted and burnt out entire. When you have
Yeah,
four bands on a bill, that's the perfect amount. You
I
start
agree.
trying to when people try to start putting 5, 6 bands on a bill because you expect that one band to sell an extra 20 tickets and make an extra $100 at your door, but now the band's unprofessional to set up on time, change over quick on time,
Yeah.
make the whole entire event run efficiently and work
Hmm.
as a team constructively with everybody. The audience gets drained, the audience gets
Yep.
tired, the people gets burnt out, they don't want to stay there, and then the
Yep.
whole entire event just goes like this.
Yep.
You want to keep it happy, keep it
Yep.
elevated, keep the energy there. So,
Yep.
I'm an avid believer on an earlier show and do the due diligence, put the hard work and effort into making it a good show, end it by 10:30, 11 o'clock, and people go home happy and want to come back. But
That's right.
that's again off of our experiences, right?
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there live on a chat if people are tuned in. I'm on my phone, so I can't tell, but um,
No,
it's
we've
just
had quite the interaction actually tonight. We've had quite a few people pop in, and we've had a lot of people message to chat and say, "Hey, Janice Murphy just popped in. Steve McLeod popped in again. Matt popped in again. Robert Stone popped in again. I think we're doing all right with this one tonight. We're doing
okay,
good."
good, good.
So yeah, and it's nice to get to be able to do this because like there's a lot of people out there that want to know what the local bands are up to, and all these larger bands that we see. Don't get me wrong, I love going to larger shows. I just saw In This Moment, and it was one of the best shows I've been to. I was at Lorna Shore. I loved it, but those bands started off exactly where we are right now. And if we don't give our locals the love that they deserve and that they work hard for, they don't make it to those points. You
Yeah,
know, they were all bar bands or bands that, traveled and worked hard, or somebody started as a cover, or this guy originally was a singer and now he's a bass player, or, I tripped over a drum kit and that's how I ended up becoming a drum, like it just, everybody's got a story. And Steve says he's been here the whole time. Oh, that's so wonderful. We appreciate that, Steve. He said we're doing a really great interview. I love that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like this is one of the better interviews I've had in quite a while. And you're the first one this year. And you were my
that,
first one last year. What a way to start the year, twice in a row.
that's it, eh?
That's
And,
killer.
and again, Johnny Pines was supposed to be with us. He's caught
Yeah.
up working the Campart truck. They got him grinding heavy.
Uh,
But but
yeah,
sincerely, all us guys in Space GT can't thank you enough for what you do, for always having us in your corner, having
100%.
having my us. I'm gonna say us because my boys are here with me in spirit. Um,
Absolutely.
having us on the show, and just like overall, just still taking interest in what we're doing, and
Yeah.
we're super excited, but yet we don't show the excitement, but we're super curious to see what people are going to think about what we got coming out.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm
You know,
for it. Like
and,
I jumped on the wagon when I met you guys, and I'm pretty sure I'm driving for my region at this point.
and again, this time around, we're gonna be doing things a lot different. And I'm just Dan did such a good job in the writing stages of all the riffing and just the backbone and everything that we have orchestrated and got cooking.
Sick.
It's definitely, like I said, it's a faster,
I can't wait.
new, crazy GT.
That's killer. Oh, you're lagging a little bit. Oh, there we go. You were lagging a little bit, but I think you're good.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's gonna be exciting. So for all the people, all the friends, the family, all the real ones that supported
Yep.
us, man, and got into Sewer City Radio, got in the album, you enjoyed those
That's
tracks,
such a great album.
you you
Yep.
guys should, and I hope would are really gonna enjoy the follow-up album. That's gonna be coming out later this year. And
Sweet.
again, we go into the studio February 17th with Kyle Marchant to start begin the recording process. And we please head to our socials, check out Space GT Music. We're gonna have
Yep.
new merch coming out. There's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out. We're right now really would like to start booking shows. So again, any promoters anybody
Yep.
interest in bringing us out and letting us show you what we do best,
Yep.
please reach out to us at Space GT Music. You can find us on all our socials. Hit up our
Yep.
Spotify. Check out everything, and please contact us. And again, thank you so much, though, for having us on, Amanda. And
100%.
you know, it,
Anytime.
it's
Anytime. Anytime. Like
it's
you
been
guys have
great
been
chatting with you.
definitely, definitely. Well, and we're gonna we're getting to that point where we're running out of time. Like I could chat with you all night, but we're getting to that point where we're running out of time, and I'm sure your little girl wants to say goodnight. So, who is absolutely adorable, by the way.
Thank
And
you.
I've got my big little girl standing next to me.
Hey,
So,
believe it or not, believe it or not, we just got a little puppy 8 weeks ago.
what's your puppy's name?
Daphne.
Oh my god, what kind of dog is she?
It's a wiener dog.
There's a pit ween that lives downstairs from us, and I want to steal him. He's a
So
wiener dog with a pit bull head. He's amazing. I love
I
wiener
love it.
dogs. I think they're fantastic.
Um,
Mine is not so small. Mine's a bull mastiff, and she's only a year and a few months.
that's
Crazy.
yeah,
So,
the animal life.
oh, I 4 cats and a dog, and like 10 fish and 2 kids. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's a life of
I'm at
chaos, but it's mine.
I'm at 3 dogs, 2 horses, a cat, a tortoise.
A tortoise.
Yeah, that's my
How
favorite.
old?
The tortoise is a Petrie is about. My wife's gonna kill me. Uh, I'm gonna say between 12 and 13 years old.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. No, that's definitely an interesting pet.
And it
That's
will
fun.
outlive all of us.
Absolutely. That's why when you said like I mean you said horses and my eyes kind of lit up a little bit when you said tortoise though that's where you had me. That's probably the most interesting pet that I've had conversation about. So,
So yeah,
but
so I'm a big we're big into saving turtles, rescuing turtles.
love it.
It's a very important thing. And again, people could say what they want, do this until you research, until you go down to the ocean, until you start actually
Yep.
realizing, man,
Yep.
like, turtles are so important.
Yeah.
And
Oh, absolutely.
stop polluting. Throw your garbage out. Throw your trash in the trash bin. Cut
Yeah.
up your
Yeah.
straws. You might laugh and
Consume
be like,
less.
cut. You might be like, cut up a straw, dude. Cut your straw and throw it out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
um,
Consume less. The less we consume, the less garbage we throw out, you
a
know.
100%.
We don't need all the shit that's distracting us realistically, but we need people like you that are saving the tortoises like
You know,
seriously.
it's
So,
yeah, it's a killer thing. It's a great thing, and my wife got me into it when I met her.
that's
She,
awesome.
he
Yeah.
Petrie came from Ireland, and
Cool.
he lives in our dining room. He's got a beautiful enclosure. I still think it's more costly to feed the tortoise than it is to feed the dogs. Um,
Probably,
you know, because
probably.
it literally eats like a head of lettuce a day. And if you already know how crazy lettuce is,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep,
um,
I do. I do. It's pretty. Like I work on a farm, like a small scale farm, that has a market in it, and you would not believe some of the. Oh, did we lose them?
no, no, no,
Yes.
no. Sorry,
Thank God.
sorry, no.
I was gonna say you wouldn't believe some of the prices we see. Broccoli is through the fucking roof when it comes to buying in bulk. It's actually cheaper to buy organic broccoli right now, than it is to buy regular,
Yeah,
um, GMO rubber broccoli.
100%.
So it's
It's
crazy.
crazy. But good,
It
good for
is.
you. You know, good for you
Thank you.
with the animals, and
Thank you.
you know,
Yeah, you too, man. That's
if you
I'm.
lived closer, I would say you could come to our clinic, but you know, you live on the other side of the province.
Yeah, well, and Rose is dead. Unfortunately, she died the day that Lorna Shore played in Toronto, and she actually paid for me to go to the show. I brought her to the records. They gave me $700, and I went in the mosh pit and cried about it. So I'm unfortunately not driving my own vehicles anymore, which is why I'm not out and about like I used to be, because Rose is dead, and
Yeah.
gas is expensive. And after driving a standard, I don't want to drive an automatic. I'll die with a manual in my hand. Um, but yeah, no. Spades is doing amazing. You guys got the album coming out. You guys already have a fucking bomb album that everybody should be purchasing, because in as opposed to going to Spotify, when we purchase albums and we purchase CDs and we purchase merch and we go to the shows and we pay the fucking door price, we support you guys doing this over and over and over, and we get to bring you to Niagara Falls, and we get to send you out east, and you get to go out west, and you get to party with bands like the Dayglow Abortions, and we get to party with bands like you guys and the Dayglow Abortions, and then we get to see the Fast Life, and we get to do all that stuff because we bought your fucking CD. We came to the show and supported you guys. We did what we had to do, because you guys do what you have to do to bring us the music. And we need more bands in the scene like you guys. You guys are huge supporters and advocates. You're veterans in the scene, mentors. I see a lot of people that post on your Facebook and stuff like that, and we learn from you guys. I'm sure I learned some stuff from you tonight that I didn't already know. Give me 2 seconds.
And I
Uh,
appreciate that, you know, and again, right, like, you know, a lot of people want to say whatever, but at the end of the day, we mean well, you know,
yeah.
and
There's
I,
one more.
if you know, that's all
Mm,
I know. All us guys in spades mean well. We stay true to what we believe is right. We stay true to ourselves, and you know,
yeah.
we
Well,
just
that's why you guys are kicking ass like you are, is because you stay true to yourselves. You're genuine, and you put the work in. And you guys are one of the staples in our scene because you do work so hard. And hang on one second. And and honestly, like, you're a torch carrier yourself. You come from metal royalty. I'm gonna say it. You do. And you carry that torch. You are somebody who has brought another generation, of musicians in and up. Your dad passed that on to you, and you're carrying it on. And I see that there's a lot of musicians that do, look up to you guys, and that do respect you guys and work with you guys. And it's a wonderful thing to see, because it shows that our community is very much thriving. We're not going anywhere.
no.
You can try and tune us out, but we're just going to turn it up. And
Right?
it's because of hardworking musicians like Spades and the camps that you support. I don't know. You got to clean up.
And that's just it, right? At the end of the day, you know, I know who the real ones are.
Yep.
I know who the fake ones are. If you
Yep.
want to hate, you hate.
Oh well,
You want
whatever.
to you
You're the
want
one
to
who's got
you
to live
want
with
to
it.
you want to create love, peace, unity. You want to be bros, you want to be bros, you want to come into our camp. We always have open arms, man. We don't
That's
have
right.
there's no people could say we're like this or we're like this or we hate or we say this or we talk this
Yeah.
shit. We don't do none of that. All we
No.
focus and prioritize on is ourselves and want to build great relationships and create a scene and build each other up and not tear
Yep.
each other down. But
100%.
unfortunately, there's people in the scene that want to come around and try to bring us down, and all you're gonna do is bring us up.
Well, that's
So,
it's just obstacles. It's like when you're in a maze and you hit that spot, that dead end spot, and you got to turn around and go another direction so you get to the exit in the maze. And that's what I look at haters like. Oh, you're just an obstacle that I have to turn around and get around. I just have to take a different path, or take a different step, or whatever. It's sometimes they're learning experiences. Sometimes the haters are a reflection and you learn from it, and sometimes they're just in the fucking way. But again, that's what this scene is all about. It's about everybody: the good, the bad, the ugly, the bullshit, the happy, the proud, the sad. We are what makes up the community. The moms, the dads, the doctors, the lawyer, the gas station attendants, the city workers. We are the metal community.
like I
um
said, I've lived in everything I've done in the music I've done because I put my 2 feet out.
that's right.
I've built it up. I've
Yep.
stayed committed. I've
That's
stayed
right.
true to myself. Everywhere I've gotten personally is because of my work
That's right.
ethic and my drive to want to
Yep.
do it. I've had support from my parents. I've had support from my friends, my family. But like everyone thinks, because who my father is, that everything has just been given
No,
to
you
me.
don't
That's
you
that
don't
I
display that.
laugh. I laugh that, like there's nothing that gets me more comical than that is
Yep.
that because it's so
You
false
don't display
that
that
it
though. Like, I mean, yeah, you do. Your dad is you do come from musical talent, but you work for the talent that you have. You work for your band. You work for the things that you have. It's not a matter of the fact that you 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 certainly work hard enough to show that you work for it, and that's not something that you ride on or were given. You work for who you are. You're your own musician and drummer, and you 100% can see that. At least I can. But I also
it
I know you. I see how hard you work to be the drummer that you are, and to work for the music that you have, and work with the musicians you are. And that says a lot. That's awesome.
yeah. And like I said, I believe and I know I got the greatest team of guys behind me and by my
Yeah,
side, and they're my brothers till the
hundred
end.
percent.
Because I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna talk some real shit on
No,
here just because it's personal. But some of the guys in our camp this year or last year, sorry, was the
yeah,
worst year of their life. Some of them went through some shit,
yeah,
man, that like I don't wish on
no,
anybody, you know. And at the end of the day, all together collectively, man, we're there for each
100%.
other. We build each other up. We may fall down, but we
That's
pick
right.
each other back up. And we don't get caught up in the
Yeah,
bullshit. And I think that's half of what Spades is. Spades is a family. It's a brotherhood, and it's you can't just walk into it.
no,
You got to
yeah,
earn your way to it. And it's, I've been blessed too, because you got to remember, I wasn't the original drummer of Space GT. These guys have been going for years prior to
right,
me in the band in Sault Ste. Marie, where they're both from. And then when my old metal band KM used to tour, we used to tour up in Northern Ontario. And then Dan and Johnny, the boys, would come out and play with
right.
us when we were touring across Canada. And that's how I ended up meeting these guys. And then they approached me when they moved down here to
It's
be in the
amazing.
band. So it's like I'm not the original founder
No,
member of Spades
yeah, no,
GT.
that's awesome.
I I I came into as a member, and I show myself and try to bring something to the table to help push the cause
Yeah,
forward, right? So I don't ever
yeah,
forget that, and I'm appreciative for Johnny and Dan to bring me in the
yeah,
first place. So I just like to lay that out on the table so you know a little bit of
yeah.
that
No,
history. It's
absolutely.
not it's not Tyler's band,
Yeah.
man. It's Spades
No,
GT.
absolutely, a hundred percent. And
You know,
and with you guys, like all of you guys work equally hard, and you all do equal work in the band. From what I've seen, anyway. You guys really do work as a tight unit. You're definitely next level when it comes to working together. You know, I think a lot of like some of our conversation is directed at a personal level because it's just you and I talking. But Spades,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like I said, I've been a fan right since I met you guys at Beer Bash. But by the time Beer Bash was done, we had an interview booked that we had to rebook,
Yeah.
but we still had an interview booked. You know, but timing is everything, and you know, happy New Year anniversary. You know,
Yeah. A hundred
so
percent. And we'll leave it on that
100%.
note. Everybody, Saturday, Walter
Yeah,
Stock
12 to
3
12, 25
celebration of
bands.
celebration of our boy. Most I know there's cover at door, but everybody, I don't care if you're connected with somebody, that's all
Yeah,
fucking
pay your
bullshit.
fucking, yeah,
Donate, buy
buy
a
your
ticket,
ticket,
man.
pay for your
Pay a
fucking
fucking
ticket.
ticket. Donate.
Yep,
Even if you're in a band, man, throw anything down, a loony, a toonie,
yep,
$5, 10, who gives a fuck? It's all going to a good cause. It goes to support our fallen brother, man. And at the end of the day, you're putting money towards Children Foundation and music. You're supporting a good cause. If you want people to support you, support the deal. Thank you to Steve Hall, Rockpile staff, everybody involved for yet again hosting it,
yeah,
putting it all together, all the work that's gone involved. Antonio, Justin, everybody, man.
yeah,
Thank you so much for having me on board this year. And I look forward to seeing everybody on Saturday. And thank you, Amanda,
absolutely,
for having us on again.
absolutely. I'm
And
gonna keep you for 30
it
seconds
was,
after I let you go. We'll end the stream right now, and I'll keep you for 30 seconds, and then we're
yeah,
out of here.
it, it was really nice. And thank you to everybody who tuned in, man.
Absolutely.
My
I
love,
have no
eh?
idea who's on next week, and Sofa City Sounds is out. We'll see you in a bit.